Hello. When your child says, I don't like you, or maybe it's just that you're not getting along, or maybe it's that they're just not doing what you're asking them, or they're having a hard time in communicating with you, that they are upset about what you were asking them to do or whatever. This is a really good way to gauge where you are at in terms of your own conscious awareness of your own presence. So if they say to you, I don't like you, then instantly accessing that space inside and recognizing how that feels within you is a really good way to gauge it. So if you feel anything at all other than neutral and okay, that's fine, and not an okay as in like, okay, yeah, whatever, you don't know what you're speaking about, you're only a child, I know better than you. It's not an okay like that. It's not an okay as in like, okay, I'm really upset, but I'm going to hide it. It's an okay as in a balanced, neutral space where you feel completely okay for them to have that feeling of their own, and it's just their feeling, and you know that, and that's okay. And it means nothing about them, and it means nothing about you, and it means nothing about the situation, it means nothing about your parent, and it means nothing about nothing. When you know that and when you feel that inside, that is when you are soul aligned in the space of connecting with your child. So it's the same way in that if you ask them for a kiss or a cuddle and they say no, if you feel anything other than peace and calm and stillness and like, okay, that's fine, your body, your choice, feeling inside, if you feel like, oh, I'm really hurt, they don't want to give me a cuddle, or like, oh, poor me, and go into that space, or if you feel like, come here, I'm your parent, give me a kiss and cuddle. If you feel any of those things, that's just a good way to gauge where you are subscribing to the belief system that them having their own autonomous or autonomy even of their body means something about them or you or the situation or how you parent, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just a good way to gauge where you're at in that, within the mind. And the mind, again, is always duality. It's not a singularity, which is your soul, which is where children operate from. It's the only space they operate from. It's the only space you're going to connect with them into. And so that's why you have to soul align. If you're coming at this from the space of the mind, as in good, bad, right, wrong, I love you, I don't love you, I like you, I don't like you, blah, 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 that opposite space, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So if they come at you saying, I don't like you, they're just simply playing with, if you like, that duality space and getting to know it and getting to learn it a bit more. And that's it. That's all that's going on. That's literally it. So recognizing that is like, okay, you don't need to do anything. You just be. You just be in the present moment with them in that. And that's it. So if they say, I don't like you, and you feel inside pain, or you feel inside rejection or abandonment, or any of that stuff starts coming up for you, then you know that you are simply, one, not remembering who you are, your body, mind, soul. You are the soul inside, you're not the mind. And the mind is the space that will tell you, this hurts, this feels painful, they don't like me, I've done something wrong, they're disrespecting me, they're disobeying me, blah, 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 blah. And I'll feed you that story. And I'm not saying like emotions and beliefs and thoughts are bad, because they're not. That's just what that is. Again, so the mind labels things as good, bad, I like it, I don't like it, black, white, all that. There's no middle area with the mind. The mind cannot go into presence. It's past, future. It's not in this space, in this moment. So that's why the only thing that you can do to alchemize that situation is to come into your own presence. And to do that, you have to align with your soul. You have to move into that inner space of knowing who it is you truly are, which is source, energy, soul in a human body, having an experience here on this planet Earth as a human through the filter of the mind. And the mind is programmed since the minute we're born. So we're born into this world as beautiful little babies, shining our light, shining our soul. And it's just the pure soul, which is why you can get a room full of adults crying their eyes out when a newborn baby arrives. Then what happens is your brain, from the moment you're born, is like a complete clear, clean computer system. It's got no programming in it yet. So what happens is all of the adults around us when we're born, and societal belief systems, all of that stuff, they begin to program our minds into believing that we are our minds, we are the personality. I am this kind of person, I am spiritual, I like this food, I like that thing, blah, 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 blah. This is who I am. That's not who you are. That's just the personality, that's the mind, that's structures, that's form, that's who we've been led to believe we are. But that's not who you are. And when we bring up children in this way of saying to them that's who they are, then that's why we are in constant disconnection with who we are, and in constant disconnection with them, in constant disconnection with what it is we want to do with our life, with making our own decisions, with feeling confident in our own decisions, and truly not giving a flying fuck what anyone else thinks about that decision. Because it feels aligned for you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing or have going on. That's just their own mind stuff, their own thinking, their own belief systems, and that's okay. That's just what that is. There's no judgment on that. That's just simply what that is. So it's fine for you to feel free in your own decisions when it's in that soul space. So your child says to you, I don't like you. When you become consciously aware of your own presence and you are practicing this daily, and this is what I work with my clients on. If you want one-to-one sessions, then please visit my website. It's in the link, or email me, which is also in the link or the description somewhere around here. And what we really work on is remembering who it is you are, first of all. And then after you remember who it is you are, you then practice presence and staying in that space, that space of being. And this is not something that this is not something you're going to understand just in words from speaking about this. You have to experience this to understand this. You have to experience this to know what this space is. You can't just sit here and watch me talking about it, because that's just not going to happen. This is energy. This is an energetic shift. You have to want this and practice it for yourself. So this is what I work with my clients on. So first of all, it's remembering who you are, and second of all, it's practicing who it is you are on a daily basis, over and over and over and over again, in each moment. And then making time and space to meditate outside of that each present moment. So then when your child comes at you saying, I don't like you, you know that really it's got absolutely nothing to do with them, and it's all about you and your own inner alignment and where you're at. And they're simply mirroring to you, like, how much do you value yourself? How much do you recognize your self-worth and who you are truly? That's all they're saying in that moment. That's all they're gifting you with, really. It's not even a it's kind of like a challenge, but it's really a gift when they come at you in that way. And so when you then start to begin to embody this, and you say to them, okay, that's okay if you feel like that way, that's fine. And again, it's not in that way of, okay then, fine, whatever, It's not like I'm better than you or I'm below you. It's just like that neutral, okay. That's completely okay. Just like if they said to you, would you like some ice cream? And you said, no thanks, I'm okay, thanks. It's the same. It's the same feeling. It's just like, no thank you, okay. And that's it. Once you get to that space, then they feel connected with you there in that moment. They know that you are aligned and you are present with them in that moment, and that's really it. That there's no other thing that needs to happen here. There's no other thing that needs to go on. There's nothing to really fix, or there's nothing to really do. It just becomes a moment, and that's it. It's not something you hold on to. It's not something you're thinking about, because this isn't thinking. Soul is not thought. Presence is not thought. Presence is not thinking. It's not thinking. You're never going to get into this space by thinking your way there. This is an energetic shift. It's energy. You have to be in that space, in that presence, and recognize it. And the quickest way to move into that space on a daily basis and like push the reset button whenever you want is to just take a deep breath in and then sigh it out. And then just before, on the out breath, just before the in breath, there's a little dip, and you might have to do this like 2-3 times. And then you feel it there. It's just a clear channel. It's just pure presence. You can feel that deep like inner being within your body. And so then you're just experiencing the outer world, but your inner world is always peace and calm and zen. And this doesn't mean that you don't ever experience emotions, because we're all human and that is okay. But you allow your emotions to flow through and pour through, and you're simply observing them, and you're noticing them. You're noticing the thoughts going on. Either way, I like it, I don't like it, that kind of thinking, opposites. You're noticing that going on, and you're still in this pure presence space, just watching and noticing it and observing, and that's it. You're not doing anything else. That's literally it. So I hope you like this video. If you want any more help in this, and if you are feeling like, okay, I really want to crack it this year, I really want to connect with my child more, I really want to understand the communication that's needed for them to feel heard and to feel loved and to feel like they have their own presence as well within your family and within your home, but also feel like you feel heard and that you feel that you are doing a good enough job in raising them, then just contact me and I'm here to help. I will speak to you soon. Let's love. Bye.